Hi, y'all. I'm Sadhaka. I've been posting links to an energy healing event that I'm going to be hosting on July 18th, which is a Friday, called Luminous Dragon Energy. This is a sort of debuting this energy to the spiritual communities kind of a thing, and I know that sounds lofty or whatever, but I just wanted to talk about me and my background to give you some more information of how I get this stuff. I'm not just making it up. My traditions in particular are Taoist esotericism, specifically Neidan, which means internal alchemy, so working with the energies of the body internally, circulating them, refining them in order to create new energetic substances within the body, which also lead to trance states, which lead to states of enlightenment. You could think of them as like small enlightenments or awakenings, that kind of thing, and blissful states of consciousness, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to be trying to run through this as fast as I can just because I want to get the information out there so you guys know what you're signing up for. The other path that I follow is Toltec shamanism. Blending these two things together over the past 20 plus years, I have gotten into a lot of consciousness bending type of activities. That is my path. It's all based, however, around energy. Many, many years ago, 50 years ago or so, we didn't really have the terms, the terminology, the concept in the Western psyche to deal with energies per se in a spiritual sense. There were some attempts to try to make sense of them, like Orgone, Wilhelm Reich, sort of Western interpretation of chi, if you will, for lack of a better term. Now, at this point, pretty much everybody knows what chi is. Pretty much everybody knows what Reiki is, and that's the same thing, ki, chi, right? And then there was an explosion of all of these different energy currents, I call them currents, coming into us as a people, you know. Now that we have a basis of understanding of what this is, you will find Dragon Reiki and Red Fire Reiki and Angel Reiki and blah 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 blah. I think that it's gotten overplayed. It's not really Reiki, and if you look at the way Reiki is done in, say, Japan, which is where it comes from, it's a completely different system. I'm not here to talk about that necessarily. I am just trying to say the reason we have this proliferation of airy fairy different types of Reiki, quote unquote, is because we needed a term for spiritual healing energy. Now that we have that term, we've applied all of these different currents. We've applied the term Reiki to all of these different currents. They do exist and they are helpful, you know? So, Luminous Dragon has nothing necessarily to do with dragons. I have mostly disassociated myself from the New Age. I am not like in that. My work is more shamanic in nature, and yet what I do is eclectic, and I pull from all these different sources, and so it is in essence New Age. Like I can't get away from that. I am a Westerner who was disenfranchised with traditional systems of religion and spirituality. I was betrayed by authority figures in those traditions, and so I had to scratch and claw my way up from a sort of spiritual black hole or abyss, to figure out my own particular path. During the course of that path, I have been blessed to receive different types of spiritual healing energy. For me, channeling them completely changes my awareness, completely changes my state of consciousness. One of those recently is what I call luminous dragon energy. Again, not necessarily having anything to do with dragons, okay? The dragon is a metaphor in Taoist practice for the ultimate blending of yin and yang. So I use it in that sense. If someone achieves dragon energy or whatever, that means they've progressed through a certain amount of spiritual cultivation practices successfully, which I believe I have done, and they are able to access a certain type of energy. I know I use air quotes a lot, but if I were writing this out, they would be in quotes anyway, so please bear with me. So After years of cultivation, about 20 years of going through my personal cultivation practices in the two paths that I have walked down, this is the highest, most complete, full spectrum type of integrated energy that I can give you. The event that I'm going to be holding is going to be just that, me transmitting this energy to you, and I will take you through guided meditations in order to protect yourself first. You don't know me, you may not trust me, but you may be curious, you might feel a calling to come to this event or to experience this type of energy. But if you don't know me, then I do not recommend. If you don't know anybody, I fully recommend that you energetically and spiritually protect yourself first. I am very big on that. And so I will be taking you guys through a specific set of guided meditations in order to protect your field so that anything that may not resonate with you will not come through. All right? That's just something that I do because my path has always been very individualistic. I get weirded out when people want to give me energy. Doing group work is not necessarily my thing, but I am the one who leads and instructs and transmits. That's my role, all right? But I want to make sure that you're comfortable doing this work. So we will do that. We will do some simple breath work. And then I will also be speaking during some of the energy transmissions, which is something that I consider myself to be fairly good at. And usually it comes out as a sort of more spiritual guidance and a sort of poetic speaking. Like I'm a bard if I was playing D&D, like for sure. Okay, so that's what the event is going to be. Also, that is just the healing portion of it. We're going to be working on your chakras. I work with a 9 chakra system, and we're going to be hitting them in sets of 3 because I lack some 3s. So we're going to be hitting the lower world, which is the lower 3 chakras, namely the Earth Star, the Root, and the Sacral, all at once. And I'll explain more about that method or whatever. This is so that we don't have to go through 9 individual ones or whatever. We're going to hit them in groups of 3. And then it'll be, the solar plexus, heart, and throat, and then third eye, crown, and soul star. So we've been hitting those. You can also think of them as the 3 worlds in shamanic terms. So the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. All right? And again, I'll explain more about that during the healing event. So if you have any questions, please let me know. The next few minutes of this is just going to be me transmitting Luminous Dragon Energy. So if you are sensitive to that energy, or to energy in general, you can, set your intention to receive it. And yeah, if you are attracted to it, please come to the event. Also, please know that you're not just going to fund my work by attending this event. I am doing it through the funnel of the Orange Dragonfly Center, which is run by my buddy JP. And he has basically created this platform, an online healing center for a bunch of instructors, spiritual instructors, some within the queer community and some outside of the queer community. We have that focus, as well. To bring all their stuff, put all their stuff online, and also, help people in a community healing sense, and eventually it is going to turn into a physical center. So I just wanted to be clear on that, what the Orange Dragonfly Center is and all of that. No particular agendas other than getting good instructors and leaders within the spiritual communities to present their stuff. So that's it. So the rest of it is just going to be me transmitting energy. If you're not into that, sayonara. If you are into that, then just set your intention to receive the energy and enjoy.